No matter where you are in life, whether you're just starting out or whether you're like me, sort of hitting 50, um, it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to put your dreams into action, formulate plans, learn new skills. It doesn't matter whether you are 16 and wanting to be a web designer or whether you're going on 50 and want to be a WordPress developer. Um, the only person who's going to make those dreams come true is you. So what I want to do in this particular video is have a look at or show you basically an option for online learning that I believe is very, very, very good, and it certainly will prove beneficial to you. And so for that reason, I'm going to give you an inside look into an online learning platform called Treehouse. So what we'll do is we'll open up a browser window. We'll go to Treehouse, www.teamtreehouse.com. Okay, I'm actually logged in. I'm actually going to give you a student's perspective here. It's something I haven't seen for a while. So you can see here, I've actually skipped the login screen because I've got remembered. So I'm in, and this is where it all happens. This is the home page. This is where everything that you're looking to achieve is easily accessible to you. Firstly, you've got your the areas that you're working on at the moment. So basically it's broken down into days, and every day they send you an email telling you what your next steps are, which is brilliant. You can see in this instance here, my next I'm currently working on WordPress category archives, author archives, and the archive templates quiz, which basically reinforces the principles behind those two learning modules there. But before I jump ahead, I want to show you learning, if it's structured, can be a wonderful thing, and that's why I like Treehouse so much, is because they don't just throw a bundle of courses at you. They have what they call tracks. Now these tracks are very focused learning paths that you can follow, and you can see here there's some amazing tracks. There's WordPress development, preparing students to work in the field. WordPress, you've got web design, you've got front-end web development, Android development, iOS development, Rails development, PHP, and you'll notice up here they tell you roughly how long each track should last. So for PHP, 31 hours. That's very, very concentrated learning. It's very, very good. You can see here, if you want to learn Python, then they've got a track for that. Digital literacy, if you know nothing about computing but you want to take that first step and just sort of get a better understanding, they've got a digital literacy track which lasts for 6 hours. We can click on that and have a look. We can see here it covers computer basics, how the internet works, how the web works. You've got a little bit of HTML. They'll have you knocking out a very basic web page. And then you can apply a bit of CSS to make it look pretty. They'll introduce you to a little bit of JavaScript, but it's all it's all novice level. It's a confidence building exercise really. And then at the end of it, of course, you've completed the track, and it just gives you just that start, that first step, that particular track. Let's look at one a little bit more focused. We'll look at the WordPress development one because this is the track that I'm on, and you can see here. I mean, I was self-taught, but all of my learning was very fragmented. And what I wanted to do was try and sort of put some sort of a structure to my learning. I mean, I've been working with HTML, JavaScript, WordPress, over 10 years, and but it was all in sort of bits and pieces. And I wanted a more structured learning path. And this basically, this path here in particular has been very, very, very good. You can see just by clicking on here what I'm up to at the moment, the WordPress template hierarchy. How WordPress templates work. You can see the little learning modules are only sort of 4 or 5 minutes long, but there's so much information in those. And then what I do is take notes and work through. I actually use it on 2 computers. I view the video on one computer, and I have my development and everything set up on the other computer, and I just work through making sure that I learn something every single day, and things that I thought I knew. Something may have changed, or and that sort of thing. And you can see that. I mean, this WordPress track alone. You've got how WordPress templates work, the core WordPress theme files, homepage templates, post and page templates, archive templates, and then we start sort of getting on, going down. That's just in that one particular section, which is the WordPress template hierarchy. But going back to the actual, you can see here how it sort of starts at the beginning, how to make a website, local WordPress development, PHP for WordPress, what you need to know PHP wise to work with WordPress. And then we start really building on that now, the WordPress theme development, the template hierarchy. Then we're looking at from Bootstrap to WordPress. And then we start looking at WordPress hooks, actions and filters. Then we hit the customizer API. Then we're looking at customizing the admin area. Then we look at WordPress SEO, WooCommerce, how to build a WordPress plugin. You can see here each level is starting to sort of build one upon the other until up here. I mean, this is quite advanced stuff, until we've completed that track. And this structured learning, it takes you through basically from the beginning, and it gives you that opportunity to structure your learning and to build on the things that you've been learning. And it doesn't matter whether you're 16 or 60. It's never too late to start learning. And if you don't want to follow a track, but you want to, one other one just before I leave here is starting a business. This is a fantastic track. How to start a business, how to market your business. Very, very simple. It's only 6 hours, but there's so much information just in these two courses. If you have a look at this, how to market your business, you're covering social media, the power of social media, conversations and communities, influencers, public relations, usability basics. These are things you need to be considering on your website. Usability testing, search engine optimization. So these are all things that you don't need a degree to learn. In fact, I tell you, I started a foundation degree at a very well-known college and got very, very disillusioned with it, especially more so when we hit the HTML module, and the tutor knew absolutely nothing about HTML and pointed us immediately to w3schools.com and told us to work through that. That was free. The course was £6,000 a year, and basically it was diabolical. Needless to say, I gave that the short boot. But this is very good. And just looking here, the cost, $49 a month. That equates to something like £30. That's for the pro level. It works out about £15 to £20, I think, roughly, for just the standard. I only had the standard level. The difference between the two is you get to watch all the conferences. These conferences here, but I'm not too bothered about those really. I haven't really got the sort of 5 hours to sit down and look at that, but I am certainly interested in just the learning part of it, and it's cheap as chips for what you actually get. But just going here, I wanted to show you the library. So we're at the library now. We've had a look at tracks, and this is where we can start to look at particular subject areas by topic. And you can see here, if you want to start your own business, for example, let's just have a look here. You've got so much here: researching users' needs, how to start a business, soft skills, podcasting. Not only the courses, but there's also workshops, course, workshop, career self-assessment. CC Chapman, absolutely brilliant. How to build a business through blogging. And this is a very, very, very good course. Again, CC Chapman, I've thoroughly enjoyed that, and in fact, it was a strong motivator to get me started. And then measuring company performance, how to market your business, how to run a web design business. That's one that I want to be doing very shortly. So there's loads and loads and loads of courses here. If you're interested in CSS. This is another, look at what CSS Flexbox layout basics, calc function, creating a modal window with CSS, responsive layouts, and you can notice that the course is beginner, intermediate, advanced. You know, they're not throwing you in at the deep end. Framework, basics, beginner, CSS. You know, you can learn at your level, and as you move through the different courses. Not only that, but they've got a terrific community as well. If you have a look here, you've got the forum where you can ask questions, and it tells you, you know, to use this and to ask questions and you know, things like that. They've also got a leaderboard system where it shows you basically where you are in relation to other students, which is quite interesting. If you have a look up here, it says here that in my particular case, I've got more total points than 95% of all other students on Treehouse, which is encouraging. But you can see the things here that I focus on. WordPress, you know, 96%. I have more WordPress points than 96% of all students. I've got more business points than 94% of all students. And as you sort of go along, these things change. You start getting higher in totals. These things start disappearing and they get replaced by stronger things. But you can see here, looking at the leaderboard, this is a new week's just gone, just started, so not too many badges being earned at the moment. Speaking of badges, if you go up to here, you go to View Profile. This is your profile page here, and this is where it tells you your particular point levels for each module that you're doing. You've got links to your social media. This is public. This is actually publicly accessible. Anyone can view this. You've got your bits and bobs down here, and these are your achievements. And for each achievement, you get a little badge. It tells you the date it was achieved. So you can see that yesterday. At the moment, I'm working through a console course as well. I've got 3 on the go at the moment in Treehouse, and because I use Ubuntu, not that you would have guessed looking at the screen. You know, I use the command line a lot, and again, I've just learnt so much from that, and I thought I was pretty good at running around the console, but just in the half of the course I've completed so far, I've found that there was a lot that I didn't know, and what I do is I take notes, and then you know, then I've got them to refer back on. But you can see here, you know, some of the things that I've been studying: workflows. I mean, Git basics. You know, branches merging with Git, getting started with Git, why version control matters. You know, these are Genesis, the Genesis framework. I'm working through that at the moment. Fantastic course, fantastic. The WordPress codex, how to use the codex, and then you can see there are more generalized subject: video marketing, email marketing, the production server, again for modern WordPress workflow. Using the staging server, setting up a local development environment, more advanced PHP for WordPress. So, you know, custom post types and fields, installing WordPress. And then we come down, usability basics, custom dashboard widgets. That was absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I've enjoyed every single one of them, but there are some that I sort of enjoy more than others if I've got a stronger interest in them. Getting started with CSS, adding pages to a website. You can see here we're going back to June. JavaScript numbers, PHP loops, did a whole section on PHP at one time there. JavaScript, selling, again we're back to business, selling your product, marketing your product market fit, discovery, and then we get to things like better SEO through code. And you can see here I started on the 21st of May 2014, so I've been with them now about 18 months, I guess. There have been long periods where I haven't come back, but and the great thing about this is you can actually pause your membership if you think you're going to be too busy for a month or so. You just pause your membership, and that way when you come back in, you just reactivate it. While it's paused, you don't get billed, and then when you reactivate it, they just start your billing cycle again. So it's, you know, it's completely, absolutely 100% flexible. The other thing that is quite interesting too is that you don't have to have. They've got like a virtual terminal that you can use, which is absolutely brilliant. It means you don't. If you're learning, for example, console functions, you can. If you come down here, getting started. Let me see if we click on that. Moving around the file system. Okay, you can see here the video.
So we saw how to run a basic command.
And this is the quality of the videos. I'll just pause that so I'm not talking over over this gentleman. But Jim Hoskins, and this course, I mean, wow, this guy, fantastic. But you can see here you've got questions, you've got teacher's notes, you've got a full transcript of the video, which is very good. You've got your downloads. You can download the video so you can view them offline, standard definition, high definition. You can download the video transcript, so you can start building up your own little library out of what you're learning. But what I want to show you is the console here, and you can see here it loads up. Setting up your computer. Just goes through a process. I haven't actually used this, so it may take us a little bit longer to set up than usual. I do it on my own computer. You can see it's going through this booting root subsystem, and it's just like having Ubuntu installed on your computer. It's absolutely fantastic. Almost there, and we're getting very, very, very close. You'd only go through this once. And here we go. Okay, welcome to the Treehouse command line. And at this point, it's just like working on, there you go, CD documents. Let's have a look, see what's in there. It's just like as if I was using Ubuntu. And you've got this at your fingertips. It's absolutely fantastic. So we'll just shut that down. And you can do that with all of them, with HTML, everything. You can do it virtually, what they call it workspaces. But I've rabbited on enough, and I wanted just to give you an inside look at Treehouse, really. You know, the quality of the videos are exceptionally good. They're fantastic. And the whole learning environment is just pressure-free. You learn when you want to learn. They've got an app that you can use. You can download your account onto your app, and you can view files while you're on the go. If you've got access to internet, you can use your tab. You know, they've made it as easy as possible to learn. And the great thing is, you know, for a $5 a week, it's an investment in yourself. So you know, I'm a firm believer in online learning, and I've tried many platforms, and I've tried many free platforms, but I have found this to be the best, I must admit, which is why I've stuck with it for so long. This combined with the digitalbusinessacademy.co.uk, if you want a rounded sort of online education, you know, for a $5 a week, you're not going to get any better than this. Not even going to college. And help is just a forum post away, or a question in the actual learning module itself. And if the tutors don't get back to you, the other students will, and you'll have your answer in no time. No one lets you be stuck for long. So that's the little look at teamtreehouse.com. It's Treehouse, and I do strongly recommend it. There's a link under this video if you want to click through, and there is a free trial. If you want to give it a go without committing yourself to it, have a go with the free trial. I can't off the top of my head remember how long the free trial is. I think it's 14 days, but don't hold me to that. But just sign up and have a good look around, have a good play around, and choose a subject and sort of work through it. And it doesn't matter what your level is. It doesn't matter if you've never used a computer before. The opportunity's here. Get in there, have a look. Don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. And this is the ideal platform to start your learning process. So this is Hayden at www.wpbusinessmag.com, and until next time.